under linear elastic conditions, relationship between CTOD and G is very simple, right? Because CTOD and G was delta is equal to G upon M sigma ys, the yield strength. Now, linear elastic condition means that J is equal to G. J is equal to G. This relation we had derived earlier, we told you. Now, if J is equal to G, then instead of G, just write J. Just write J. So, this means that J is equal to, send it there, M yield strength delta. So, now you have defined that if linear elastic conditions are satisfied and you still want to find an equation for J, then J is equal to so much delta. So, this is the relationship between J and CTOD. Delta is the CTOD and this is J. If linear elastic conditions are satisfied, which remember means that there is almost a true brittle material with sharp crack and so on. M, of course, is just a dimensionless constant that depends on the stress state and the material properties, whether it is plane stress or not. In the strip yield model, remember a strip yield model, sigma yy was equal to sigma ys, right? And it was strictly for plane stress. So, if plane stress is there, M is equal to 1. So, if strip yield model is satisfied, it is plane stress. And now we don't have simple linear elastic, we have some correction for plasticity. So, now J is equal to sigma ys delta, right? So, if the strip yield model is assumed, that means that there is some significant plasticity on the crack tip, and then because it is plane stress, so M is equal to 1. So, J delta relationship under some significant plasticity with strip yield model is this equation, last equation. Note the similarity between the last equation and the equation delta is equal to G by sigma ys, right? G by sigma ys. So, this was derived from the strip yield model by neglecting higher order terms in a series expansion. We told you that if we take a Taylor series type of expansion, right, where an angle is converted into a polynomial, and because all the higher order terms will become smaller and smaller because they are a fraction. So, that was done. But here no such assumption was necessary to derive equation 344, right? The equation delta is equal to J upon sigma ys, right? A strip yield model which assumes plane stress conditions and a non-hardening material predicts that M is equal to 1 for both linear elastic and elastic plastic conditions. She was another scientist who delved into this, provided further evidence that a unique relationship between CTOD and J applies well beyond the validity limits of LEFM. So, this was a big research that you see. Strip yield model means just a small amount, significant but a small amount of plasticity at the crack tip. But then he said that even if you take the non-linearity much further than LEFM, then there is a unique relationship between CTOD and the other things. So, this is just a recap, but the relationship between J and CTOD is what we are discussing it, and it always goes back to the relationship between G and CTOD, remember, because and so on. We are showing you a typical stress strain diagram of a general metal like steels and so on, and right, stress against a strain, and you know that there is the initial straight line region and then the non-linear plastic region, and we are showing you the different quantities like the Young's modulus, the yield strength, the ultimate strength, the fracture strength and so on, and that you have a strain hardening region from yield strength to necking, ultimate strength, and from ultimate strength to fracture you have a necking region, right? So, all that strain hardening, necking region, and so all that you know before, but what I want you to remember and what I want you to recall if you don't know, in the straight line region, you know the equation of sigma is equal to E epsilon. This is the stress, this is the strain, this is the Young's modulus. But remember here it is the engineering stress and the engineering strain. what is the equation of this plastic region? What is the equation of this plastic region? I don't know if you know, right? This must have been there in your first course in material science, or then later on in manufacturing, right? So what is the equation of this plastic? If the whole curve is given, then at any point you can find the stress and the given strain. But if the curve is not given for each material, then what is the equation? Because here you don't need to have the whole straight line. You just give me the Young's modulus value, and I know that the equation is sigma is equal to E epsilon. So at any value of a strain, you can find the stress, or at any value of a stress, you can find the strain, if the Young's modulus is given. So for this, if you remember, equation is sigma is equal to K epsilon n, but here the sigma is the true stress and the epsilon t is the true strain. It is the true strain. I should have written sigma t here for true stress. So this is the true stress equation. And there are two constants of the equation, K and N. And this small n is the strain hardening exponent, strain hardening, right? And this is another constant. So for any material, E, the Young's modulus, is the material property describing this region. And K and N are the material parameters describing this region. So if you know E and K and N for any material, then you know the whole curve. The straight line region and the non-straight line region. Why I am revising this is because of the strain hardening exponent N. We were talking of the strain hardening exponent, so I just, right? So non-hardening material means that, you see, if this n here is the same n that we were talking about, then n is equal to 0 means this stress is gone, right? This stress is almost not there, right? So that is why for a non-hardening material, this n does not have a value, right? So with this background in materials, I keep on telling you that we are doing fracture mechanics, yes, but from the chapter on introduction, that whatever you have done earlier in materials and mechanics should be seen in a very new light. Then you understand, right? Very basic thing. So therefore, we were discussing the similarity between this equation and that equation and so on. No such assumption was necessary to derive the previous equation, delta is equal to J upon sigma y. Strip yield model assumes plane stress conditions and a non-hardening material, right? So I have now explained the non-hardening or the hardening part. Predicts that M is equal to 1 for both linear elastic and elastic plastic. And she provided further verification, right? So now you really understand what is a non-hardening material in terms of the stress strain equation of the plastic region, which is defined in the using the hardening parameter N. So now back here, it can be shown, right? So dn is equal, for alpha is equal to 1, which exhibits a strong dependence on a strain hardening exponent, right? And a mild dependence upon this. So the strain hardening is n, right? And so on. So now you understand that. We will go to the next page. We will see this figure and it will be more clear. Comparison of this equation, J is equal to M sigma Y delta, and this equation, this. From here, J is equal to sigma naught delta upon dn, right? J is equal to sigma naught delta upon dn. So if you compare them, then we will see that dn is 1 upon m, assuming that the reference stress sigma naught is equal to yield stress, right? Put sigma naught is equal to sigma ys and compare this equation with this equation, then you will say that dn is equal to 1 upon m, right? So therefore it is there. Now in the figure, dn is equal to 1 for a non-hardening material in plane stress, which agrees with the strip yield model. So now remember, that is why I wanted you to see that in the last example, when you were finding eta p, right? There we said that the capital N is equal to 0 is there for a non-hardening material. Here the book is saying that for a non-hardening material, small n, this is the n in the normal stress strain equation. This is equal to infinity. So please compare this, that the capital N in the delta P raised to n equation, there the capital N is equal to 0 corresponded to non-hardening material. In the stress strain equation for plastic region, n is equal to infinity will correspond to the same. So try to understand this and try to have a very good handle on this. We will go to the next page and then discuss this again. Xi analysis, which is a little more than the basic, shows that there is a unique relationship between J and CTOD for a given material. The two quantities are equally valid crack tip characterizing parameters for elastic plastic materials, right? J and CTOD are both valid for elastic plastic materials. And fracture toughness of a material can be quantified, can be measured either by a critical value of J or a critical value of CTOD. Critical J is fracture toughness, critical CTOD is fracture toughness. Right? So this discussion is okay, but let us see the graph and the diagram that they were talking. So these are the two, right? This is a graph between dn and 1 upon n. And this is also dn and 1 upon n. But this is for plane stress and this is for plane strain, right? Plane stress and plane strain. And the different graphs are for sigma naught by E, sigma naught upon E values, different values. Here also they are for sigma naught upon E, different values. But if you see, for plane stress, it starts from 1. For plane strain, it starts from a little less than 0.8. But both of the graphs, both for plane stress or plane strain, go to a roughly maximum value of 0.5 for 1 upon n. 1 upon n is equal to 0.5. So n is equal to 2, right? So they go to roughly there. And sigma naught upon E. And remember, if you take sigma naught, the reference stress, as the yield stress, then this will be yield stress upon E. This will be yield stress upon E, and so on, right? And the curves are for the different values. One thing is very clear from here. 1 upon n is equal to 0. 1 upon n is equal to 0 means small n is equal to infinity, right? So that they said in the last page that for n is equal to infinity, the non-hardening material, the dn will be equal to 1. So yes, if this is 1 upon n, then 1 upon n is equal to 0 means n is equal to infinity, right? So that is the starting point. And then the hardening behavior starts and so on. And this is for plane stress, this is for plane strain. So predicted J-CTOD relationships, right? Because delta is equal to dn J upon sigma naught, right? So this is there. And if you are given the E of the material, then sigma naught upon E, different values are there. So you see which curve is your curve. And from here then, for any value of 1 upon n or any value of n and any value of sigma upon E, you can read the dn. And when you put the dn in the equation, then dn is known, sigma naught is a known stress, so delta and J relationship is given, right? So predicted J CTOD relationships, delta is CTOD for plane stress and plane strain, assuming alpha is equal to 1. Alpha is a factor which we are assuming alpha is equal to 1 in these cases. For alpha not equal to 1, the above values should be multiplied by alpha raised to 1 by n. Do you understand? At whatever value of d by n you find from here, multiplied by alpha raised to 1 upon n if alpha is not equal to 1. If alpha is equal to 2, right, then 2 raised to 1 upon n multiplied by them. So again, these are charts, right? Whenever we draw the equations and so on, then these are charts.